What is going on, guys? This is Sacred. What is going on, guys? This is Meso here, and today I'm gonna be reacting to 10 homeowners. Oh my. What is going on, guys? This is Meso here, and today I'm gonna be reacting to. Alright, I'm gonna slow down because I don't wanna mess up. 10 stubborn homeowners. 10 stubborn homeowners who refuse to move in. Screw it, let's just get to the video. The richest. I haven't reacted.
When the world wants to move forward, there are some that would rather things stay as they are. Sometimes those people are homeowners that aren't quite ready to give up their property just because a developer wants it. Here are some stubborn homeowners who refuse to move out.
I'm kind of stubborn. In a way.
In the city of Wenling, China, an elderly couple lived in an apartment building scheduled for demolition in order to build a new highway. Luo Baojian and his wife weren't willing to accept the relocation compensation offered by the government, however, so they stayed. During the communist era, it was easy to force people out of their homes, but once laws tightened up, it became impossible to demolish someone's property without coming to an agreement first. For their safety, the adjacent apartments were kept so the building would remain structurally sound as the highway was built around them. After much resistance, Luo finally agreed to move, and the house was eventually demolished.
I wouldn't want to live around
Mr. Yang
in the middle of a highway.
During China's rapid urban development in the mid-2000s, Mr. Yang's 3-story home in Yicheng, China was highly sought after since it was in the middle of what would become a giant pothole. But Mr. Yang and his family weren't willing to relocate, so the construction began around them, leaving their home in the middle of a pit. By 2012, the Yangs and the developers had yet to come to an agreement, so they shut off the family's water and electricity. They relied on lamps and candles for light and walked a kilometer away daily to collect water.
That guy looked
Spriggs.
He looked
in downtown Washington during the height of the real estate boom, Austin Spriggs owned a townhouse where developers were beginning to build condos and offices. He'd been using it for his small architecture firm since the 80s, and he wasn't keen on selling it. While developers offered him nearly $2 million for the property, he still wouldn't sell, at least until they offered more. After a while, the developers gave up. Trying to get some money out of the home, Spriggs tried turning it into a pizzeria. It never opened, and with the bank threatening to foreclose on him, he sold it in 2011 for $750,000. Yeti and Shen.
I was gonna say 10 years.
In Dongying, China, 72-year-old Yeti and his 71-year-old wife Shen lived in a small farmhouse where they raised chickens and a goat. When plans for a new roadway were introduced in 2014, their neighbors accepted the pay packages they were offered, but the elderly couple preferred to stay. Not wanting to delay construction, workers built the highway on either side of the property, with the house and barn smack dab in the middle of it. Small vehicles must take a dirt road along the side of the property to continue their route, while trucks are directed to a detour. Edith Macefield. 84-year-old Edith Macefield lived in Seattle in a tiny 2-story home, and the area was quickly changing around her. Houses were being replaced with boutiques and condos, and developers were looking to expand even further. They came knocking at her door with an offer to buy so they could bulldoze her home and build a shopping mall. She refused, even after being offered millions for the tiny house, so they built around her. She formed an unlikely friendship with the construction chief, Barry Martin, medication and groceries.
Picture reminds me of the movie Up.
Lady. When she passed away at 86 years old, Barry was shocked that she'd willed the home to him. Wu Ping and Yang Wu. For 3 years, developers tried to convince Wu Ping and her husband Yang Wu to leave their home as their neighbors had done so they could complete work on a new shopping center. They lived in Chongqing, China, and had been fighting with developers since 2004 after 280 other homes were demolished. Construction continued around them, leaving their home like an isolated island as negotiations raged on. They finally came to an agreement in 2007, and the house was torn down. Ishmael Bermudez. For nearly 50 years, 65-year-old Ishmael Bermudez, also known as Golden Eagle, has lived in his Miami home, which he believes sits atop sacred Native American ground. He has been excavating his backyard, discovering a natural spring and what he believes to be Native American artifacts. When skyscrapers, construction, and busy roads began cropping up around his colorfully painted wooden house, Bermudez refused to sell unless developers could guarantee the preservation of the sacred ground.
Sacred,
Even though he
MezoSacred.
has been offered $1.8 million for the home, he continues to refuse until he can be assured that the land will be protected. How do you feel about these stubborn homeowners refusing to move?
I don't know how I feel about them, but their houses must mean a lot to them. I know I pronounced it weird, but I don't care. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and I'll be back with another reaction. Peace!